Eurovision mania is gripping Europe and much of the world, and it's certainly one of the hottest topics in Israel at the moment. Israelis have been eagerly anticipating this mega event, partly in the hopes to show off everything that Israel has to offer to foreign tourists, other than the grim stories they hear on the news. Yet despite this, the BDS movement has come out in full force against the event, and there have been some minor controversies along the way. And so this begs the question, is the Eurovision good for Israeli Hasbara? And here to discuss this issue and the state of Israeli Hasbara is President of the International Center for Public Diplomacy and Israeli Hasbara, Davidi Hermelin. So let's jump right in. Is the Eurovision good for Israeli Hasbara?
The Eurovision can be obstacle, can be challenge, and can be opportunity. And I think that it depends how we can see the world. Because usually if you would ask me, all the issues I deal with are issues of Hasbara or Israel advocacy, but usually I believe that the general public opinion is not so important for Israeli Hasbara, because the aim of Hasbara is to influence the policies of foreign governments. And foreign governments do not change their policies as function of public opinion, because the voters abroad don't vote to this party or another, for this party or another, as function of their point of view regarding Israel and the Middle East. But the Eurovision is a unique example of a situation when the general public opinion is relevant, because the Eurovision is not governmental policy. This is international event. So the fact that the Eurovision this time is taking place in Israel gives the delegitimation campaign against Israel the opportunity to put spotlight on Israelis and Middle Eastern issues. Because the BDS movement, maybe I will tell a secret here, is not so important, because it's very weak. People don't really care about them. And usually when we hear about it is when the Israeli Hasbara organizations deal with that.
Respond to the BDS.
Yes, too much. But this time, it's not in our hands, because the Eurovision is a fact of life and it is in Israel. So it's not a function of mistake by Israeli figures, but this is objective situation. And during this situation, we should ask ourselves how to face the legitimation against Israel.
And I mean, at the end of the day, what will the Hasbara surrounding the Eurovision really accomplish?
This is opportunity to see Israel beyond the conflict. But I believe that we can show the multi-faced culture of the country, the multiculturalism, the tolerance, the democracy, the freedom. But yet, if someone is asking us about the apartheid wall, and we don't know to say this is not a wall, but a defense fence, or security fence. And if someone is asking us about the hardcore issues of the so-called conflict, or about the so-called refugees or Palestinians, and we don't know how to reply to that, so with all the goodwill of the Israeli good and the liberal mindset, it will not work if we don't have the good answers. And one of the mistakes of the Israeli Hasbara during the years, not the only one, unfortunately, was that always we try to show, we are so beautiful, we are so nice, and we really want to negotiate and to compromise, and we always forget to make the other way around, to walk in the other way around, to make delegitimation to the Palestinian cause, to say they have no national rights.
To flip the tables.
Yes, they have no national rights in our country. It's not that just we want to negotiate and they are not coming, because public diplomacy by the public is not diplomacy. The policy of the government can be even two-state solution. I hope not, but it can be. But the Hasbara should be, they have no right to have any kind of statehood in the western side of the Jordan, because A, B, and C.
Well, Davidi, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us today.
Thank you.